November 11th, 1993, the employees of Ware, Jackson gathered in the lobby of our offices on the 49th floor of Heritage Plaza to honor those who have served our country's military. A trumpet played taps, and Phil Snow offered a toast to the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who have fought and died for the freedoms we enjoy as citizens of the greatest country in the history of the world. Lee Ware, who was a colonel in the United States Army Reserve, planned and executed those events. Over the years, our Veteran Days celebrations became bigger. We began to have speakers. They have reminded us of the debt that we owe to the great Americans who serve in our military.
When my grandfather arrived in Korea, the fighting had settled into a form of trench warfare. And he often talked to me about his time in uniform, but never about the battlefield. What he shared instead were his feelings about the men and women he served with, a place where Americans from all walks of life set aside their differences to serve a common purpose. When it came to the rules of engagement, my job during combat operations was to advise the battalion commander on those rules in real time, where both the rules and the laws of armed conflict met the chaos of the battlefield. It seems almost an impossible standard, yet I'm here to tell you time and again, I watched these young Marines strive to do the right thing, even when clarity did not exist. They were united by mission, by duty, by loyalty to country, and by their devotion to each other. And that belief, that willingness to serve others before self, is what we are celebrating on Veterans Day.
So as we look back on the long years since 9/11, it's easy to measure those wars by time. But I think the truer measure lies in the lives that filled those years, in the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and guardsmen and women who stood watch in distant places as their families stood watch at home. It lies in the citizen soldiers, our guardsmen, our reservists, who put their work down on a Friday, shouldered a rifle on a Monday, and carried both the burden and honor of two callings, one to their nation and one to their communities. Their service reminds us that America's strength does not just lie in her armies, but in her people. May we be worthy of the time they gave, the sacrifices they made, and the example they set. And may we never forget that the price of freedom is written not just in history's battles, but in the hearts of those who fought them.
So as we honor veterans today, let's remember that the melting pot my grandfather described isn't just a military phenomenon. It's America at its best, bridging divides, defending the rights of others, and standing up for principles even when it's hard.
Let us pray in the name of those who have fallen in this country's wars, that there will be no more veterans of any further war, not because all shall have perished, but because all shall have learned to live together in peace.